Hello everyone, if you don't know me already, I'm Tara, the dance doctor. Welcome to my channel. In today's lesson, we are doing another hip isolation challenge, another twerking challenge. The last one was so well received and so popular that I decided to do another one. And we are doing this one, although I'm not going to play the music in this video because of YouTube copyright strikes. This challenge is being done to Show Dem by Mr. Eazi. You can find me dancing it with the song either on my Instagram or on YouTube Shorts, so that once you've learned the challenge, you can dance it to the music behind me, okay? So I'm just gonna be teaching the whole challenge with no music and kind of practicing it as we go. It's only 4 counts of 8, so it's not a long challenge. We're just using different types of hip movement, and I think it's really fun, and I love the song, so I thought it would be a nice thing to do on my YouTube channel. Also, at the end of this lesson, I am answering 3 sets of questions that I got on my Dear Dance Doctor prompt, which is an email that I sent out to my mailing list last Monday, which I'll be doing once a month. So if you're not on my mailing list, please join my mailing list. There's a link in the description box, as I'll be sending out a prompt once a month for questions that you would like to have answered by me, and I'll answer 3 of them at the end of a YouTube video the week after I send out the prompt. So I've got 3 really good questions, so stay tuned for that. At the end of the lesson, I will be answering those Dear Dance Doctor questions and concerns. Now, without further ado, let's get dancing. Okay, I'll just say really quick before we get started that if twerking or hip isolations are totally new to you, I do recommend you check out my twerk lesson series, which is on the playlists on my channel, so that you can familiarize yourself a little bit with the fundamentals of isolating your hips, okay, to avoid frustration. So we're going to start. Our first 8 counts look like this. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay? So what I'm doing is, first, I'm maintaining a steady pulse in my pelvis for the duration of these 8 counts. So I'm going and 1, and 2, and 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay? So just try that first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Not too hard, huh? And we are putting the emphasis on the down. So we're going to think that our pelvis, the back of our pelvis lifting up toward the ceiling is like our neutral, and then we're putting the emphasis on the down and kind of rebounding back up, okay? So I'm going and 1, bum, bum. 1, 1, 1, 1, okay? So now we are going to turn the feet 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 3, 5, 7. Sorry, those are not the counts. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But you get the point, okay? So I'm going and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay? So on these first 2, I'm just rotating my foot, and on the third one, I'm actually going down as I do that pulse in my hips. If that's not possible for you, you can just stay right here, okay? So again, the first 8 counts, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now, we're going to circle our hips to come back up and come into neutral. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay? So I'm circling my hips, circle, circle, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? And if you can, circle also while you're coming in, okay? So we're going around, around, in, okay? Again, around, around, heel, toe, heel, toe. From the beginning, we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, around, around, heel, toe, heel, toe. Now, from here, I'm going to do a figure 8 going back and around, okay? So I brought my foot in, heel, toe, toe. Now I'm going to straighten my left leg, and when I do that, the left side of my butt is going to go back and around, and then I'm going to straighten my right leg and do the same thing. So right leg bent, left leg straight, hip comes back and around, other side, back and around. Okay? Careful that you're not just doing a circle. We're really going left side comes around, right side comes around. Okay? Let's go from the beginning. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. Straighten the left, straighten the right. Now, we're going to do this a little bit faster. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to go 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay? So I go figure 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. Fast. 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay? Let's go from the beginning. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. 1, 3, 5, 6, and 8. So the and 8 is just an agitation with the hips. I'm just putting one side of my hip forward and then the other. And I end with the left side a little bit rotated behind me, okay? From here, I'm going to tick 1, 2, 3, and 4. So we are going 1, 2, 3, and 4. Bend the left, bend the right, straighten out the right a little bit, not all the way. Straighten the left, and move the hip up on the right side. Okay, so I'm going 1, 2, 3, and 4. And again, 1, 2, 3, and 4. One more time. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Let's go from the beginning. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. Figure 8. 1, 3, 5, 6, and 8. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And now I'm going to go 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay? So my hips already lifted on this side. I'm going to lift my right heel a little bit to emphasize that movement. Then I'm going to lift the left heel to bring the hip up and over on this side. And then again on the right. And then I'm going to send it back, boom, boom, on those last 2 counts, okay? So I'm going lift the right, left, right, boom, boom. On the boom, boom, I'm drop, lift, drop, okay? So I do my ticking. 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And again, 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So you have to, as soon as you lift the hip on that last hip lift, you have to push off so you have the right foot free to do that double drop, okay? From the beginning. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Around, 3, 5, 6, 7, and figure 8, 2, 3, 5, 6, and 8, 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and a 1, 3, 5, 6, and 8, 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6, and 8. Okay? That is the whole challenge. You can rewatch this video if you need to, really look at the details of what I'm doing with my hips, and then go ahead and follow along with me either on YouTube Shorts or on my Instagram. And I love to see your videos. If you do decide to do this challenge and film it, please tag me or send me the video. I won't share it if you don't want me to. I just like to know that I'm not talking into a void. I know people are watching these videos, and I love to see you all dancing. So feel free to reach out to me at dancedoctoronline@gmail.com or on Instagram at dancedoctoronline. Okay, so I look forward to seeing your videos, and now enjoy Dear Dance Doctor. Okay, I am so excited to be doing my first Dear Dance Doctor advice segment. I've got 3 really good submissions for this month that I think are questions that just a lot of students have. For sure, my personal students have these quandaries all the time, and so I'm excited to get into it and help some people out. So my first submission is, hi Tara, I'd love to know your top tips for finding and expressing your personal style in social dancing. Also, what are some overlooked ways to make progress more efficiently? Thanks so much, Tamara. Okay, Tamara, so to address the first part of your question, the best advice that I can give for getting more comfortable with expressing in your social dancing there are 2 things. One, of course, is to practice. You have to practice so many times that you can't forget how to do the things that you're trying to do. You have to practice way more than you think you should, and that doesn't mean you have to practice for hours and hours every day. It can be enough just to do 15 minutes a day, just to get the things that you're trying to achieve into your body, so that when you're social dancing, we're not in the intellectual space, we're more in the visceral space, and you can just allow things to flow out of you. And speaking of flowing out of you, the second part of my answer is to improvise on your own. So I just can't overstate the importance of improvisation. It is so important if you want to be able to look natural and fluid in your social dancing, and particularly when you're doing shines in your social dancing, you need to improvise on a daily basis. So I don't care if you're cleaning your house or you're, like doing even in the car, put on some music and try just moving your body the way that feels authentic to you, to the music. It's not even about trying to remember shines or routines or movements or techniques that you learn in class. It is really about allowing your essence to come through in your dancing, because that is always going to look better than when you're trying to copy someone else's style. And so that's one of my number 1 pieces of advice for all of my students, especially the ones that do social dancing, is to improvise as often as you can. And again, it doesn't have to be for hours and hours. You can do it once a day. Put on a song and just let the movements flow out of you. If all you do for the whole song is a basic, but thinking about maybe emphasizing different parts of the body as you do that, that's perfect. And then kind of go from there, because that's how you start to develop your personal style. And that, to me, is going to be the biggest asset to you in your social dancing, okay? And then the second part of your question was, what are some overlooked ways to make progress more efficiently? And I believe that an overlooked way to make progress is by visualizing. So visualization is an extremely powerful tool in helping you improve your dancing that I don't think enough people talk about. So when I ask my students, every time they come in, I ask, have you practiced since I saw you last? And a lot of times they're like, no, I didn't have time, or blah, 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 blah. But I thought about it. And I'm always like, that's great, because the thinking about it is so, so important. I actually did a quick tip Tuesday on my Patreon page about this, so I won't go into it in great detail. But I will say that in my experience, when you can visualize yourself doing something correctly, then you're at a point where you will actually be able to do it correctly in your dancing. A lot of times, if something isn't working for you physically, you'll find that it's actually difficult to visualize yourself doing it correctly. And so if you can shift the way your brain is thinking about the way that you move, it's an extremely effective tool to use to incorporate into your dancing practice, okay? So those are my answers for you. Thank you so much, Tamara, for writing in. And let's go on to our second submission. Hi, Tara, how are you? 2 questions. What can you do to minimize sweating? I sweat from my face and the back of my head in a 2-hour dance class. Also, she asks, how do you become sexy in dancing when you don't feel it? Thanks, a new fan, Lynn. Okay, Lynn, so I sweat a lot too. So I understand that it can make you feel uncomfortable, or like you don't want people to touch you because you're sweating, or you're embarrassed because your peers aren't sweating as much as you are. I totally get that. And it is our natural biology. Of course, there's some, I've heard, like, if you alter your diet or whatever, it can change how much you sweat. I have not experienced that. I've tried every different type of diet and lifestyle that there is. I also do a lot of cardio and weight training and stuff. And so it's not about physical health. It is just our biology and our makeup, and it is nothing to be ashamed of. That being said, to feel more comfortable when you're in class or when you're out social dancing, you can bring a hand towel. So like when I go to Cuba, because it's extremely humid there and hot most of the year, it's totally normal for people to carry a hand towel with them to class and when they go out social dancing. Actually, some dancers just like wrap it around their neck to keep it there to absorb the sweat so that you don't feel like you're getting sweat on your partner. So I would say bring a towel and towel off every once in a while, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Also, I know people that will bring a change of clothes. If you know you're a sweaty individual and you're gonna do, you know, more than one class in a row, or you're out social dancing, you can bring a change of shirt so that you feel more comfortable. You know, like when if your shirt gets too wet, go to the bathroom, change it out, and you're good to go. The other thing is, the last time I was in Cuba, I was there in the summer, and it was so hot and so humid. I felt like after one dance, I felt like I had just gotten out of a swimming pool. Okay. And there was a lovely man that was kind of around where, kind of around the group that I was with, and he had a little battery-powered fan, and he handed it to me, and he's like, go ahead, use it as long as you want. And it was so nice to have that in between dances just to kind of dry off. And so I would say, get yourself a little battery-powered fan and take that with you when you go to class or when you go dancing, or the towel or the change of shirt or all three, just so that you feel more comfortable, because there's nothing to be ashamed of. We all sweat. It's just some people sweat more than others, and it's natural. So I wouldn't be overly worried about it, but you can use these techniques to help you feel more comfortable. The second question, how to become sexy in dancing when you don't feel it. So I have two different answers for this. So find clothing that feels sexy on you, that when you look in the mirror, you say, this is what makes me feel sexy, this is what makes me feel good in my body. Sexy doesn't look the same for everybody, so find a style that works for you and then get a bunch of different stuff in that same style, so that you have your signature style. You're going to feel good when you go to your class or when you go out dancing. And it is important to feel good in your body when you go to class, because you're always going to dance better when you feel good about the way that you look and feel. The other advice that I have is to, again, improvise. Put on a song at home when nobody's watching you that feels sensual and sexy to you, and just move. Because like I said, just like with clothing, in dancing, sexy looks different to everybody else. And the thing is that when it's artificial and people are trying to be sexy, it's very apparent. And sexiness is in the eye of the beholder, right? If you feel sexy, you're gonna look sexy. So I would say improvise. That's gonna be my answer for a lot of these, so that you can start to find what feels sexy in your body. And then the second part of my answer is that if you don't feel like dancing sexy is authentic to you, then don't. There's so many different ways to express in your body. If you feel more like a playful dancer or a cute dancer or a strong, powerful dancer, do those things instead of trying to be sexy, because inevitably when we really are authentic to ourselves and we're really embodying the way that we feel inside, that is going to be sexy. We don't need to do specific movements that society has deemed sexy in order to be sexy. Really, sexy comes from, I think, being really authentically yourself. So those are my answers for you, Lynn. I hope that they are helpful, and for everyone else out there who had the same questions. And now my last submission reads, hello, do you have any tips on integrating your at-home practice with social dancing? Sometimes I feel like I forgot everything I worked on, especially in terms of technique. I'm usually dancing with new people at socials. Could that be part of the problem? Thanks, Jackie. Okay, Jackie, so this is such a common issue that students of dancing have. And so what I would say is, generally, I think it's not the best idea to be thinking about technique while you are out social dancing. And the reason is that there's different times for different things. And I feel like when you're out social dancing, that's the time to kind of let go and let your body do what it knows how to do. It's a time to test and see if the muscle memory is kicking in or not, and try not to overthink things, because you're not really going to enjoy yourself that much if you are overthinking things while you're out dancing socially, and B, it really isn't effective. The really concentrated practice in a kind of an isolated context is really the best way to develop muscle memory. And then when you're out social dancing, that's your time to just let the muscle memory take over. So that's the first part of my answer, is to not overthink things when you're out social dancing. Just let your body do what it knows how to do. The other part of my answer is about dancing with leads that you're not used to dancing with, that probably have a variety of different styles and leads that they do. Something I've been saying to my students a lot lately is a revelation that I had, which is that as followers, we're not meant to match the energy of the leader. So what I've found a lot is that when leaders have a very strong masculine energy, as followers, what we tend to do, because that's the person who's in front of us, is try and match that masculine energy. And what I've been encouraging my students to do lately is to match the strong masculinity with soft femininity. Instead of trying to adapt to each leader, I say, this is how I dance, and you're going to adapt to me, which to me makes a lot more sense, and it also makes the dancing much more even. It's not the man talks and the woman listens. It's we're in a conversation. So that's how you dance, this is how I dance, and now let's meet in the middle and make some magic, you know? So I would say, if you focus in on you without like overthinking things, just focus on your own body and dancing like you, regardless of who's leading you. And I think that's a really powerful thing to do, and I think it will actually help you better integrate the things that you've been practicing into your dancing without overthinking it. So we kind of just stand our ground in our own personal style. Okay, so that's my advice for you, Jackie. Best of luck. I hope that all of these answers were helpful, not only for the people who wrote in to Dear Dance Doctor, but for the rest of you who are watching. And remember to subscribe to my email list if you would like to submit your own questions and concerns about dancing once a month when I send out the next prompt. So that's all for today, and until next time, keep dancing.